Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, the Anti-Corruption Commission ACC has received a significant boost in its fight against corruption through a 20 million Namibian dollar grant from the European Union. The funding, managed in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP), will enhance the ACC's capacity and support the implementation of Namibia's National Anti-Corruption Strategy and Action Plan. EU Ambassador to Namibia Anna Beatrice Martins emphasized the importance of combating corruption to build a transparent, equitable society rooted in the rule of law. Speaking at the signing ceremony in Windhoek, she highlighted the EU's commitment to partnering with Namibia to achieve its development goals. Martins also stressed that corruption disproportionately affects the most vulnerable members of society, making anti-corruption efforts vital for protecting human and civil rights. She described the initiative as more than just financial support, calling it a step toward empowering all citizens to thrive in an environment of fairness and opportunity. The grant underscores the EU's proactive approach to addressing corruption globally and its dedication to fostering governance reforms in Namibia. In our next story, Namibian police are searching for two suspects who escaped after a daring diamond heist at Namibia Desert Diamonds Namdia in Windhoek on Saturday night. The robbery, which turned violent, resulted in a shootout and left two people dead: Namdia security officer Francis Aseb and one of the suspected robbers, Max Njala. Aseb was found in the storeroom with his hands and legs tied, his face covered with a shooting bag and a gunshot wound to the head, according to Assistant Commissioner Kauna Shikwambi. Njala, a top squash player and auditor, was also discovered in the storeroom, injured and later died in the hospital. While Namdia stated that Njala died from a self-inflicted wound, Shikwambi refuted claims of suicide in Aseb's case, indicating that an autopsy would confirm the cause of death. 4 firearms and knives were recovered at the scene, 2 belonging to the suspects and 2 to the victims. A second suspect who was injured during the robbery is under police guard at Katutura Intermediate Hospital. Now, the suspects fled with an undisclosed quantity of diamonds, and the value of the stolen goods is still being determined. Namdia has assured the public that a comprehensive statement will be released once more details are available. The Ministry of Health and Social Services (MOHSS) has agreed to pay 110,000 Namibian dollars in damages to Matilde Geingob, the mother of the late Petrus Geingob, who was strangled to death in Windhoek Central Hospital's mental health unit. This settlement follows a mediation ruling after Geingob initially filed a 750,000 Namibian dollar medical negligence lawsuit against the ministry in May last year. Geingob, a 30-year-old man diagnosed with schizophrenia, died in September of 2022 while confined in a seclusion room after a physical altercation with another patient. He had been admitted to the hospital's mental health unit a month earlier. Hospital staff defended the use of the seclusion room, citing his history of escaping from the facility. A post-mortem conducted by Dr. Soraya Pozovitz confirmed asphyxiation due to strangulation as the cause of death. It also revealed multiple injuries, including bruises on the neck, brain hemorrhaging, skull fractures, and damage to the neck muscles and hyoid bone, which supports the tongue. The case was referred to mediation in November, with Jacomina Jacobs appointed as mediator. Geingob, represented by Francois Bagwambo, and the ministry, represented by Pandere Kamirenga, reached a settlement agreement. Under the terms of the settlement, the ministry will make a one-time payment of 110,000 Namibian dollars, cover 15,000 Namibian dollars in Geingob's legal fees, and provide free psychological counseling. Geingob had initially sought 400,000 Namibian dollars for emotional trauma, 300,000 Namibian dollars for future medical expenses, and 50,000 Namibian dollars for funeral costs. Now, Namibia has been ranked as the 4th safest country in Africa by Altezo Travel, a Tanzania-based destination management company. The ranking positions Namibia as a leading destination for safety, peace, and political stability, offering it the potential to become the safest country on the continent. According to Romeo Muyunda, spokesperson for the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, the recognition underscores Namibia's reputation as one of the most peaceful countries in Africa, with a well-developed tourism industry and reliable infrastructure. The top 3 spots in the ranking went to Mauritius, Ghana, and Zambia, with Namibia coming in ahead of Morocco, Tunisia, and Egypt. Muyunda highlighted the importance of safety in attracting tourists and boosting Namibia's global recognition. He also praised Namibians, law enforcement agencies, and stakeholders for fostering peace and stability in the country. He emphasized the seamless transition of power among Namibia's 3 presidents as a key contributor to the country's high ranking. The announcement coincides with the ongoing tourism safety campaign led by the ministry, the police, and other stakeholders stakeholders to ensure the safety of visitors. Muyunda stressed the need to prioritize peace and stability, which not only attract tourists but also encourages investment, driving economic growth. While celebrating the current ranking, Muyunda expressed confidence in Namibia's potential to claim the top spot in the future, calling on citizens to work together to protect the country's natural resources and enhance safety for both locals and visitors. Alteza Travel's rankings are based on global studies, official statistics, and citizens' perceptions of safety, looking beyond heavily guarded tourist areas. With this recognition, Namibia continues to build its reputation as a must-visit destination for travelers worldwide. And now closing off our top stories, Namibians have a new way to learn about agriculture thanks to an innovative board game called FarmWise, launched with the backing of Nedbank Namibia. This engaging and educational game combines fun with practical lessons on the challenges and rewards of farming, aiming to foster collaboration among farmers, workers, and their families. The game's developer Piet Gos came up with the idea during an unexpected moment of downtime. Stranded with a flat tire and no car jack, he used the time to wait to brainstorm ways to create an impactful tool for farm education. Initially intended for farm laborers and their employers, FarmWise has since evolved to benefit a wide audience, including emerging farmers, urban families curious about agriculture, and even tourists seeking a unique Namibian keepsake. The game addresses key farming resources such as financial, human, natural, and physical through informal learning. Its design promotes understanding, responsibility, and teamwork. The first 100 limited edition copies are now available directly from Gos, with plans for a broader distribution through local retailers like Sam's Hobbies and Toys in Windhoek. A standout feature of the initiative is its impact. 40% of the game's profits will support a bursary fund for the children of Namibia Agricultural Union members, helping them pursue tertiary education. Nedbank Namibia, the project sponsor, praised the game's potential. John Tromp, Nedbank's head of business banking, highlighted its role in empowering communities and addressing agricultural challenges, calling it a testament to Namibian resilience and creativity. The locally manufactured game features customizable asset cards and high-quality design, with plans for future expansions to keep it fresh and relevant. With regional and international markets in sight, FarmWise is poised to become a key tool in connecting communities and inspiring responsibility in agriculture. That brings us to the end of our top stories. After the break, we bring you our Community Talk segment. Tonight in our Community Talk segment, the Electoral Court has ruled that the IPC's challenge to November's National Assembly election will be delayed until the Supreme Court decides on the presidential election challenge in February. Both challenges were brought by the IPC. Additionally, the Electoral Court will determine on February 20th whether the LPM can join the National Assembly election case. Raymond Heathcote, the president's lawyer, stated that they would abide by the court's decision and prepare for the High Court's proceedings. Now, coming up in economic news tonight, Donald Trump's newly launched cryptocurrency shakes up the digital market, soaring to a staggering $12 billion in value within days, while Bitcoin hits a record high. We'll explore what this means for the future of decentralized finance and why some are calling it the new digital gold. Stay tuned for more insights as we head into economic news right after this. Tonight in economic news, Donald Trump's newly launched cryptocurrency, Dollar Trump, has taken the digital finance world by storm, reaching a market value of nearly $12 billion just days after its debut. By Monday morning, the token was trading at $58.56, securing its position as the 18th largest cryptocurrency according to CoinMarketCap. Its 24-hour trading volume hit an impressive $52.5 billion. The coin launched on Friday with branding that includes an image referencing Trump's attempted assassination in July, is mostly controlled by CIC Digital LLC and Fight LLC, both affiliated with Trump's business empire. This move marks an expansion of Trump's cryptocurrency ventures, which already include World Liberty Financial. Meanwhile, Melania Trump unveiled her own digital token on Sunday, trading at $12.03. Her cryptocurrency has a market cap of $1.9 billion. Bitcoin also made headlines, hitting a record high of $109.071 on Monday in European trading. It has already gained over 10% this month, cementing its dominance in the market. The launch of Donald Trump has sparked a wave of discussion in the crypto community. Crypto analyst Justin Donathan called the move a Pandora's box, raising questions about the ethical and regulatory implications of public figures wielding influence in speculative markets. He noted that the coin blurs the lines between governance, profit, and power, suggesting regulators are likely to scrutinize its impact. Peter Schiff, a global strategist at Euro-Pacific Asset Management, referred to the rapid rise of Dollar Trump as the new digital gold on the messaging platform X. Trump, who has branded himself as a crypto president, is expected to push policies aimed at reducing regulatory barriers and promoting the adoption of digital assets. Now let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 22.92 against the British pound, 19.09 to the euro, 18.09 against the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 50 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. All commodities are down, save for platinum, which took an upturn of 2.50%, now trading at $952.28 per ounce. Stay with Sunset News for the latest in international news, coming up after the break. Tonight in international news, a fragile truce has brought a temporary halt to the 15-month-long conflict between Israel and Hamas, offering a moment of relief amid devastation. On Sunday, Hamas released 3 Israeli hostages and Israel freed 90 Palestinian prisoners in a highly emotional exchange. In Tel Aviv, Israelis gathered to cheer and weep as a live broadcast from Gaza showed hostages Romy Gonen, Doron Steinbrecher, and Emily Damari boarding a Red Cross vehicle. Damari, injured during her abduction, smiled as she reunited with her mother, draped in an Israeli flag. In Ramallah, jubilant crowds welcomed the freed Palestinian prisoners, which included 69 women and 21 teenage boys. Fireworks lit the sky as buses arrived. The ceasefire allows aid to flow into Gaza and paves the way for further hostage exchanges. Over the next 6 weeks, 33 more hostages are expected to be released in return for nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. In Gaza, scenes of destruction dominated. Residents displaced for over a year returned to neighborhoods reduced to rubble. The war has left a staggering toll, more than 47,000 Palestinians and 400 Israeli soldiers dead, according to officials. The 2.3 million residents of Gaza face widespread homelessness. The ceasefire began after delays and a final round of Israeli airstrikes that killed 13 people. Both sides blamed each other for the delay, with Israel citing technical issues from Hamas. For Hamas, the truce is an opportunity to resurface publicly. Fighters and police patrolled Gaza, greeted by cheering crowds. Yet questions linger about Gaza's future governance. Israeli hardliners remain adamant that Hamas must be dismantled, with National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir resigning over the ceasefire. U.S. President Joe Biden, on his final day in office, praised the ceasefire, saying this was made possible by the pressure Israel built on Hamas, backed by the United States. Incoming President Donald Trump's team signaled strong support for Israel if the truce falters. Hamas will never govern Gaza. That is completely unacceptable, said National Security Advisor designate Mike Waltz. For now, Gaza's streets are filled with flags, rubble, and a mixture of hope and grief. Now, on the night before his inauguration, President-elect Donald Trump held a campaign-style rally in Washington where he celebrated his win alongside supporters and outlined an ambitious agenda for his presidency. Trump promised to kick off his term with a sweeping series of executive actions, declaring, "The American people have given us their trust, and in return, we're going to give them the best first day, the biggest first week, and the most extraordinary first 100 days of any presidency in American history." According to a source close to the administration, Trump plans to sign more than 200 executive orders on his first day in office. The anticipated orders will address a range of issues, including border security, mass deportations, revoking Biden-era policies, boosting oil and gas production, and replacing career government bureaucrats with Trump loyalists. Trump also vowed to pardon January 6 Capitol attack defendants and dismantle diversity initiatives, emphasizing his intent to undo what he described as the radical policies of the Biden administration. In a move drawing wide attention, Trump announced plans to release classified files related to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert Kennedy, and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. In the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records related to these assassinations and other topics of great interest, Trump told the crowd. The promise revives an earlier campaign pledge and taps into enduring public fascination with these events, particularly JFK's 1963 killing. While he released some JFK files during his previous term, he withheld others, citing national security concerns. Trump's newly appointed Health and Human Services Secretary-designate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been vocal about his belief that the CIA was involved in his uncle's assassination, claims the agency has vehemently and consistently denied. The rally at Capital One Arena resembled Trump's previous campaign events, with attendees donning "Make America Great Again" hats and cheering on speakers like UFC CEO Dana White, Stephen Miller, and Trump's sons Donald Jr. and Eric Trump. Trump expressed gratitude to his supporters, calling the event a shared victory. "We're all going to be sworn in together. That's the way I look at it." The rally's celebratory atmosphere contrasted with the high-profile swearing-in ceremony set for Monday at the U.S. Capitol. Attendees at the inauguration will include tech giants like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg, whose companies have contributed millions to Trump's inaugural fund. Musk, a close advisor to Trump, has been tapped to lead the Department of Government Efficiency and is expected to play a key role in reshaping the federal government. Despite the enthusiasm among Trump's base, some tensions linger between his populist supporters and his corporate allies, particularly over issues like immigration and tech policy. Now, Trump, appearing momentarily unsure of Vance's whereabouts, joked, "Wherever he is, he's here somewhere." Trump's inauguration is Trump is set to be sworn in just a few hours. Now, TikTok began restoring its services in the U.S. on Sunday after President-elect Donald Trump pledged to reinstate the app upon taking office. Trump, addressing supporters ahead of his inauguration, emphasized the app's importance, saying, "We have no choice, we have to save it." TikTok, used by over 170 million Americans, had ceased operations in the U.S. due to a law banning the app over national security concerns tied to its Chinese parent company, ByteDance. However, Trump announced plans to delay the law enforcement to negotiate a deal that protects U.S. data and security. In a statement, TikTok credited Trump for facilitating the app's return, stating it was working with service providers to restore access. As of Sunday evening, the app was partially operational but remained unavailable on Apple and Google app stores. The ban, which stemmed from the fears of data misuse, has sparked tensions between the U.S. and China. Beijing condemned the move as suppression, while Trump proposed a joint venture with 50% U.S. ownership to resolve the the issue. Despite his earlier efforts to ban TikTok during his first term, Trump has softened his stance, citing the app's role in engaging young voters during the 2024 election. His decision, however, has faced opposition from Republican lawmakers who insist on full divestiture of TikTok from ByteDance. The ban also affected other ByteDance-owned apps, including CapCut and Lemonade, leading to a surge in VPN searches and concerns among businesses reliant on TikTok's e-commerce platform. Meanwhile, speculation about TikTok's future continues, with reports of interest from potential buyers, including Elon Musk and other major investors. Now let's take a look at the weather predictions. Katima Mulilo can expect some showers and maximum temperatures of 27 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures of 19 degrees Celsius. In Windhoek, showers are also expected. Minimum temperatures will be around 22 degrees Celsius and maximum temperatures will be around 31 degrees Celsius. Looking over at the coast, partly cloudy conditions expected that side. Not much of a difference between the maximum and minimum temperatures. Minimum temperatures will be ranging around 16 degrees Celsius and the highest it will go is around 18 degrees Celsius. In Ariamsvlei, though, bright and sunny skies are to be expected. Maximum temperatures of 39 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures of 22 degrees Celsius. Stick around after the break. We bring you the latest news headlining the world of sport. Starting off our sports news, the Debmarine Namibia Premiership saw an exciting round of matches on Saturday, with newly promoted clubs showing they are a formidable force in the league. Commerce Nampel FC and Young African played out a goalless draw in Mariental, with Commerce Nampel FC coach Fortune Egab reflecting on the result. We didn't capitalize on our chances, but a point away from home wasn't bad. We only had 2 weeks to prepare, which wasn't enough, but that's the Namibian way, Egab said. He expressed confidence that his players would improve as the season progresses. In Okahanja, Eshoke Chula Chula FC secured a solid 1-0 victory over Okahanja United, while defending champions African Stars triumphed with a dominant 4-1 win over the young Brazilians. Newly promoted KK Palace pulled off a thrilling 2-1 victory over Mighty Gunners in an away match. In Windhoek, Tigers FC used their home advantage to beat Blue Waters 2-0. Ongos FC also claimed a narrow 1-0 win against Blue Boys. Julinho Athletics rounded out the day with a 1-0 victory over Bucks Buccaneers. Julinho Athletics coach Nelson Lewis praised his team's performance, saying, "We used the pitch well and the counterattacks worked in our favor. I'm satisfied with the result. The referees made some questionable decisions, but that's human nature." The action in the Debmarine Namibia Premiership continued on Sunday as teams looked to build on these exciting results. In some international sports, Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has delivered a stark assessment of his team, calling them maybe the worst team in the club's history following a 3-1 defeat to Brighton at Old Trafford. The loss leaves United languishing in 13th place in the Premier League, with only 2 wins in their last 10 matches and a series of dismal performances at home. Amorim, under growing pressure, admitted the team's struggles but vowed not to abandon his approach. "The players and fans will suffer, but I believe in this style of play. We need to enjoy these moments to see results," he said. However, United's captain Bruno Fernandes expressed frustration with the team's inability to capitalize on their home advantage, saying, "We talk about how difficult it is to play at Old Trafford, but it feels like we're the ones struggling here. This cannot be acceptable." The statistics painted a bleak picture. United have suffered their 10th defeat in 22 Premier League games, their worst start to a season since the 1989-1990 season. They've conceded first in five consecutive home games, a troubling trend that underscores their defensive vulnerabilities. Critics, including pundits, have questioned Amorim's 3-4-3 formation and its effectiveness in the Premier League. The defeat to Brighton, a team that had gone 8 games without a win before Sunday, highlights United's mounting crisis. Fans and analysts alike are growing impatient, with many calling for immediate changes to halt the club's alarming decline. For now, though, the pressure is firmly on Amorim and his squad to find a way forward before the season spirals further out of control. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook and all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneop2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.